Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We're going to be taking a look at two fan favorites here. We got Scan in the top left of Metropolis. We have in the bottom right ZeloT, the most aggressive Zerg versus the most English-speaking Terran amongst the pro gamers. Okay, the most English-speaking Terran. He's so much more than that, though, guys. We love Scan, of course, and ZeloT as well. Always entertaining games. You know, Metropolis has been a weird map. It's like, sometimes I feel like it's okay, and sometimes I hate it. This is my most vetoed and then unvetoed and then re-vetoed map I've ever played on. Where there will be days where I get like 3 games in a row on it that all go terribly wrong. I'm like, I am vetoing this thing once and for all, and the next day I unveto and play it more and have a few good games, and then a week later, the cycle repeats. It's a frustrating map in a lot of ways. The shape of it is absolutely bizarre, having these main bases. You know what? This is a great time to go ahead and do that. But look, I mean, look at this. How do you get over here and do things? It's so hard. Look at how much space is behind there. This is both good and bad for defense. And then where's your third? Okay, here. Where's the fourth? Wait, you are supposed to expand here? Or are you supposed to try to go down there, which is like so far away from everything up here? Man, it's a weird map. It's a strange one. I don't think it's one that's going to stick around. I've been talking about specifically, I think Polestar is actually a really good 4-player map. This one's a little bit too far out there. So I don't think that this is one that's going to see multiple seasons, whereas Polestar, I'm like, you know what? We could definitely have Polestar in the summer ASL season, and I think no one would complain about that. It seems like a very solid map so far, whereas Metropolis, you're just kind of like, probably not this one. Okay, looking at these builds, we have a quick gas from Scan. Huge variety of things that could have happened from here. ZeloT actually goes, I wasn't paying much attention because we were talking about the map, but ZeloT actually goes pool first with gas before his hatchery. Now, unfortunately for ZeloT, this build, no matter what Scan is doing, is going to be weak. If you go for a factory opener and your opponent doesn't go hatchery first, generally you're considered to be ahead. And the fact that this is very quick tech, like if Scan is doing vulture, right? Like some sort of vulture play or some sort of wraith play, like he's going to get in and be able to do some damage before the mutas are basically ready. So this is ZeloT trying to get like a very quick layer and probably very, very quick mutas. And Scan gets down here, he sees like, oh, well, normally this hatchery would be finishing right now if it's hatchery first. So it's very easy and obvious. And obviously there's Zerglings out. That's probably the biggest tell that it was pool first. But yeah, he knows the timings of that. And it looks like it's probably 2-port Wraith, but it could be vulture drop. You know, there's a wide variety of things it could be. And with the tight wall, you can't put any damage on. And there's the 2-port. So Scan's going to be going 2-port Wraith. And again, like, this is low econ. You've sacrificed economy to get the layer up a bit quicker. And damn, it is a very, very fast layer. And in fact, Scan's going to see exactly how fast it is, right? Yep, it finishes with his SCV in there. So that's really good. So to put it in perspective, that is 15 to 20 seconds faster than you normally see a layer. So you really have to account for that when you're doing things like preparing missile turrets. So, going to be Wraiths on the way. Sends out a Vulture and Marine. This is just to make sure that he has to make a Sunken and all that. And in fact, there are some little tricks you can do where you bring in the Vulture and the Marine at the same time, but the Marine will be slightly ahead of the Vulture so that the Marine takes the first auto attack of the Sunken, and then maybe the Vulture gets by. That type of thing. I don't know if he's going to be trying something like that. It doesn't look wide enough to really make something like that work. Like if you block with the drones at all and you run in this way, it would be painful. And he puts the Lings on the ramp, so you're not going to get by. But that is a tactic that you can see employed in these situations. So 2 Wraiths coming out. Let's see where the Overlords are. So there's one here and one here. Those are not super easy to find. I think you'll find this one. I don't think you'll find that one. ZeloT with the Spire on the way. Yeah, he's going to fly right into this one. So that's a very good catch. Okay, I'm glad he didn't just micro the whole time. See some players, they'll micro that the whole time. It's like, guys. It's an Overlord. There's nothing around here you have to dodge. It's okay. And armory coming up very quickly for Scan. That's so interesting. Okay, so he actually does use that to... oh, wow. That was actually brilliant. So he used the Marine walking in first, like I was talking about for that trick, to get the vultures in, and he got a lot of drones with that. How many drones did he kill? 4? 5? And he lost a Wraith. He lost the 2 vultures in the Marine. The 2 vultures in the Marine don't matter at all. The Wraith obviously matters, but for the amount of drones he got, that definitely was worthwhile. Of course, if he just dies to a counterattack, that becomes not the case. Double add-ons to go with his armory, so it looks like he's going to go mass Valkyrie here. And he's just making a bunker as his defense. No missile turrets. Valkyries cost a lot of minerals, so this makes sense. He's just going to zone everything out. He has no cloak, by the way. This is a very weird-looking game. I have not quite seen this. And look, he traps his SCV with the factory. He can untrap it later. If he wants. Dude, this is the weirdest-looking 2-port Wraith I've ever seen. The weirdest. And look, he's going to try to snipe. If you snipe a Valk, man, it's huge. He snipes it. That's huge. Scourge for Valkyrie is a big deal for Zerg, especially one of the first ones. The first few Valkyries are so important. And he's still got 2 Scourge in here, so this is still very tough. He's bringing out his Marines to fight as well. Oh my god! He somehow killed the Scourge before they all connected. And now the Mutas are gonna... They're gonna eat hot Wraith missiles. Okay, more Scourge coming in. So, oh my god. Okay, he does end up losing it, but the fact that it had like 1 health and got an extra volley helps him to clear off every single Mutalisk. No cloak, guys. No cloak. Never seen two starport Wraith into Valkyrie with no cloak. Literally never seen it. I've seen Valkyries as a follow-up, but much later, like after a lot of Wraiths and cloak, obviously. So Scan is playing a very different style of 2-port Wraith. Okay, he hits one Scourge onto the Valk. Does kill another one. Oh, man. Keeps one alive. What does ZeloT have left? He's on 13 drones. Just about only mining gas. Look at how many drones he has on minerals. 7 drones on minerals. He has, like, minute 1 economy at minute 8. Minute 1 plus gas. Oh, my God. More Scourge coming up. It really just comes down to reducing that Valkyrie count over and over. Like, you might still be able to get this going your way. And he actually... Scan made more Wraiths there. He only has a single Valk. Oh my god, the 1 health Wraith actually ends up living. He's going to kill the Overlord as well. Dude, this is the weirdest game I've ever seen for a 2-port build. Literally couldn't care less about Cloak. It feels like Scan has had exactly enough at all times. It seems to me like if ZeloT had 1 more Muta during some of these fights, he might have won the game. Like, all the Marines are damaged. The Wraith gets down to 1 health. He's got, like, 1 flying unit left as he finishes everything off. Absolute insanity. Scan starts his expansion. What a wild game. What a wild game. +1 armor coming up here for ZeloT. That's kind of interesting. We never had the +1 attack started for Scan. It's such a long upgrade. You know, it takes a really long time for that to come in and pay off. It's more likely for flying units to still be utilized as Zerg than it is for Terran as far as that attack upgrade goes. Like, games where you have lots of Wraiths generally don't last very long. Generally, they come to a head very quickly. So he's prioritizing still here that Wraith production. He actually has the money for Cloak and is neglecting it still. eBay coming up. That's going to be incredibly important. Lots of Muta Scourge coming up. And he's not even getting Overlord speed, which is the crazy thing, because Overlord speed costs the same amount as Cloak. So I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, at least you would force that, right? Like, Cloak feels kind of free in that regard. Well, obviously, there's been twice as much gas income here for ZeloT for basically the whole game. But look at this. This is getting a little bit scary. Generally, the way that you win with Wraiths isn't through brute force. It's through tactical maneuvers. I don't think he can stay alive against this. There's too many Scourge. There's no missile turrets to help out. There's just no other anti-air. Like, his micro's really great. The range of Wraiths is fantastic. Against Mutas, at least, and Scourge. But you can see he's trying to get these shots off. Gonna lure him back. Only the bunker is here to really help out against this. Great micro there. Dude, this is craziness. I am just in shock right now. Like, he's got better Mutalisk micro than ZeloT. The Wraiths have been absolutely insane. But look at that Mutalisk count. You know, Mutas do end up beating Wraiths, you know, in straight up fights. Still just making Wraiths. Again, no cloak. Bringing up his Marines from his bunker. You know, I think if you stabilize, you actually end up winning his scan. Because you've got 2 bases against 2 bases then. And there's no real transition point that can occur. Whereas, as Terran kind of stabilizes this, you can just kind of make more units that help you scale up even better. But he does have +1 now. +1 flyer carapace is huge. But Scan has a couple of missile turrets here. He is going back into a Valkyrie. Mass repair on these Wraiths. Okay, there's a Valk now. The Valk can make a lot of difference, but again, +1 carapace. So the Valkyrie isn't going to be as strong as it was before. By the way, I think a lot of people watching this right now are probably thinking, like, why did he stop making Valkyries for a bit? I think it's just because of the Scourge counts coming in. Valkyries are so much more expensive than Wraiths. It's 150, 100 compared to 250, 125. It's a huge difference in cost. And when Scourge are coming in, the Wraiths are going to be a better choice. You can't actually micro the Valkyrie versus Scourge. It gets locked into its position once it starts firing, which is why we try to do the slide micro where it slides backwards while it fires. With Wraiths, you can turn around very quickly and avoid the Scourge in that regard. So now that there haven't been Scourge for a while, this is why he's adding back in a Valkyrie. Because the Scourge in these smaller fights absolutely counter Valkyries. So this is like ZeloT trying to force a victory. Scan's still getting a lot of damage here with these Wraiths. And as far as no cloak yet and why he hasn't gotten cloak, I can't answer that one. Oh, yeah, okay, well, he is getting cloak now. A little bit late. I think the funny thing about this... Oh, actually, I'll talk about that afterwards, because this game is going to come to a head with cloak. He's got to kill this Overlord very badly. If he kills that Overlord, I think he just wins. Because he's going to be able to chase down basically... Well, there's a couple Overlords over the side. Maybe not. Maybe that's a little bit too much to say. Okay, he turns on Cloak. Oh, God, that's so much free damage. That is so much free damage. Oh, how do you ever play against this without Overlord speed? Okay, this is the end of ZeloT. He doesn't really have anything left here. The Wraiths are just dismantling everything. He's got a bunch of slow Overlords that are going to die. More Mutas are being made. He did take a third, but Scan right now, adding these barracks, there's just not going to be any answer for what he's doing here. Yeah. Look at this. So these are actually about to have +1 as well. He's got the bunker. He's got the double missile turret. He's got a lot of wraiths. He's got the scan or the cloak now, so you actually need overlords to come up unless they're running out of energy. In that case, like, I guess you can kind of fight. A couple of Valkyries on the way. You know, back at home, a bunch of overlords being made, as well as a Queen's Nest. Honestly, here, the Queen's Nest could actually be for queens. That's not very common, but like, Ensnare would be one of the best things you could do here because it decloaks things and slows them so they can't be microed. I actually think nothing in Hive looks... Well, I mean, Defiler obviously always, but that takes a long time. Well, he does go for Hive, so I guess it's not going to be for queens. But I think queens could have been a reasonable idea. Maybe if it was a little bit earlier or something. At this point, it's all looking bad. Okay, he's microing against the Valks. It's not really working out for him, unfortunately. Scan does end up cloaking. Of course, Valks have base armor, so sometimes you do want them to tank shots from Mutas. And that's gotta be game. That's gotta be it. Yeah, Marine Medic walking out with a huge amount of anti-air. I guess you can go mass sunken. You know? Like, he needs to start it right now. He'd need to go mass sunk, but I feel like that doesn't scale up in anything correctly either. The game has been so strange from here. Or it's so strange up to here, rather. That even if you sunken up and your opponent doesn't have science vessels yet, it's like, yeah, but your economy isn't really fully functioning, and you know, he's already got 2 starports up. There's like a lot he can do with that, whether that's make some drop ships or you know, get into science vessels now, even though that is a bit late. Greater Spire. Okay. So maybe a single Devourer and maybe Guardians? Like, Devourer will help out against air units, but like, the thing is, the Marine Medic is actually becoming the scariest force on the map right now. Hydra is speed, so it actually looks like it's just going to be Guardian. And actually, ZeloT is the best Guardian player. This is not one of the games that's like the standard way that he goes Guardian. Like, he has the best Guardian rush out there. Woo! Okay, he does lose a Valkyrie there. But yeah, Guardians here don't feel nearly as good. It's just like we already have a lot of anti-air. Well, let's see. You know, he's trying to make something happen here. He's got the +1 carapace, so it'll be 3 armor Guardians. That's hard to kill with Valks. I guess the Wraiths don't care about the upgrades nearly as much, though. He's gonna morph a bunch of them right away. Do you have to give up this base? Can you hold this base? Actually, Lurker Eggs would hold this base is a funny thing, but he doesn't have the Lurker upgrade. He just got the Hydras as his anti-air here. Yeah, and it looks like Scan is pulling the trigger right before he's ready to make any Guardians. Unfortunate there for ZeloT. And GG is called. Okay. Let me throw this out there. This is going to be a weird one. Okay. Oh. Okay. Here it is. Prevention versus punishment. This is something I've been thinking about a lot lately. Okay, and this is a little bit abstract. So, why didn't he go Cloak? Now, this is... I'm going to be stretching a little bit far here, but it's to illustrate a point. I can use Terran vs. Protoss as the best example of this to really boil it down. Okay, let's say Terran vs. Protoss. Your opponent has gone Speed Shuttle Reaver. If you make around your base 15 missile turrets, that will prevent the Reaver drop from occurring. Is that a good thing to do? No. it is not a good thing to do, because your opponent will see 15 missile turrets and they'll make 2 Nexuses and they won't waste their Reavers. Situation number 2. You make a missile turret, and further in you make another missile turret and you lay some mines. And you have a couple units in your base. So now the Reaver drop flies in, because they're like, okay, let's do my Reaver drop, try to get some damage, and you punish it. So the Reaver drop comes in and you punish it, and you spent less money on it, but you got them to do the thing rather than over-purchased defenses to prevent the thing. This is better. Okay? Now, of course, you will be able to find situations where prevention could be better than punishment. But, and I don't think that this is exactly why he didn't get Cloak right away. I think that there was more, a different thought probably going on there, but it's something that comes to mind. Where, because there was no Cloak the whole time, there was no Overlord speed, and it just, the battle kept going on and kept going on and kept going on. It was close, 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 close. And then Cloak appeared, and there's no Overlord speed, and Scan dominated everything, and that's really the point he won the game, was when Cloak finished up. That was punishment. Okay, I hope that made sense. I haven't tried to explain this like that before, but it's definitely something I've thought about a lot lately. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope that you enjoyed. I think you definitely enjoyed this game. That was a wild one. We'll see you next time.